public accountability, digital innovation, and sustainable tourism governance. You can adjust the language according to your preference. Choose the program that suits your needs from the playlist. Customize the subtitle position on your laptop, and adjust the video speed with the slider to suit your needs and comfort. Let's grow together through your subscribe and like on this video.
Public trust hinges on veracity. When officials prevaricate or policies appear tawdry, legitimacy erodes. Ethical governance must be unequivocal, not clouded by tendentious spin. The future of tourism is nascent yet promising. Innovation can revamp outdated models, creating varied experiences. Done well, progress is not trifling, but transformative. Political will must be warranted by evidence, not driven by vociferous populism. Leaders should winnow data carefully, avoiding xenophobia masked as protectionism. Tourism stands at a crossroads. With zeal, prudence, and integrity, it can reach a sustainable zenith. The choice is ours. Drift into excess or steer with wisdom toward shared prosperity. Beneath the glossy imagery of destinations lies a complex stratum of labor, capital, and governance. Tourism often appears refulgent, but the brilliance can obscure structural imbalance. In many regions, informal workers operate in squalid conditions while elite investors enjoy tax privileges. Such disparity is not accidental. It is frequently rife with political compromise. When policymakers fail to substantiate equitable reforms, social trust begins to erode. The industry may look sound on paper, yet beneath the surface, tensions simmer. Regulation must not merely skirt around injustice, but confront it directly. Otherwise, inequality may rend the social contract itself. Political debates surrounding tourism policy can turn vociferous, even descending into a tirade. Some critics resort to vitriol, while others deploy verbose rhetoric that obscures more than it clarifies. A responsible government must respond not with hostility, but with a measured rejoinder. It should refute misinformation, not suppress dissent. When leaders attempt to whitewash policy failures, they invite skepticism. Constructive debate, however, can whet civic engagement and foster democratic solidarity. Tourism demand does not move in a straight line. It tends to oscillate between expansion and contraction. Periods of stasis may follow sudden shocks, whether geopolitical unrest or health crises. When arrivals plummet, revenues dry up, leaving economies in a state of near torpor. Governments may implement stimulus packages, yet if measures are too lax, recovery falters. Effective intervention must be both timely and decisive, avoiding half-hearted gestures that merely palliate rather than solve structural fragility. Environmental degradation remains a salient concern. Coastal ecosystems, once verdant, can become degraded under mass tourism. Without firm regulation, pollution may saturate fragile habitats. Sustainable tourism must be more than a token gesture. It must become a guiding resolution. Governments should stipulate environmental safeguards that are not symbolic but enforceable. A truly salubrious tourism policy safeguards biodiversity while generating income. Otherwise, the industry risks leaving only a barren vestige of what once thrived. In public finance, transparency is sacrosanct. When officials manipulate data or engage in transgression, reputations are permanently damaged. Allegations of corruption, if left unaddressed, may evolve into systemic turpitude. Public institutions must uphold veracity, responding to scrutiny without becoming defensive or surly. Citizens deserve policies grounded in fact, not specious narratives designed to distract. Integrity may seem abstract, but without it, no tourism economy remains viable. Local participation is not a luxury, but a democratic necessity. When communities are excluded, resentment may recrudesce. Marginalized voices become increasingly restive, demanding redress. A prudent administration listens rather than dismisses. It does not treat citizens as obstacles to be relegated, but as partners in governance. Inclusive frameworks transform tension into symbiosis. Where dialogue replaces confrontation, tourism becomes a vehicle for empowerment rather than exploitation. Tourism thrives on openness, yet political currents sometimes drift toward xenophobia. In moments of crisis, foreign investors may become convenient scapegoats. Such reactions, though emotionally compelling, can be economically counterproductive. A balanced approach must distinguish between legitimate regulation and exclusionary impulse. Social cohesion requires vigilance against prejudice. Otherwise, fear may undermine the very openness that fuels growth. Effective tourism reform demands strategic foresight. Leaders must act as the vanguard, spearheading innovation rather than clinging to obsolete models. Planning cannot be rudimentary. It must be informed by data and experience. Short-term populism often yields only fleeting applause. Enduring progress, by contrast, arises from disciplined execution and institutional memory. Nations that adapt swiftly may find themselves at the forefront of sustainable transformation. International reputation is fragile. A single scandal can cast a long shadow, damaging investor confidence. Nations that cultivate credibility enjoy diplomatic leverage. Those mired in controversy face exclusion. Tourism diplomacy, therefore, demands prudence. Engagement must be respectful, policies coherent, and commitments honored. When governance is consistent, reputation becomes an asset rather than a liability. Tourism is not merely an industry. It is a mirror reflecting political choices, economic structures, and moral priorities. It can either deepen inequality or foster shared prosperity. The path forward demands courage, prudence, and collective resolve. In the succeeding chapter, we examine how reform can move from aspiration to implementation. Policy declarations are easy. Implementation is arduous. Reform often begins with a promising preamble, yet translating vision into practice can prove torturous. Bureaucracies may become recalcitrant, resistant to change that threatens established privileges. At times, regulators appear taciturn, offering minimal explanation for delayed execution. Meanwhile, communities grow impatient, questioning whether reform was merely symbolic. To succeed, leadership must underscore accountability and eliminate administrative solecism arose, not merely of grammar, but of governance itself. Tourism reform rarely unfolds without resistance. Competing interests deploy political stratagems seeking to protect their share of revenue. Lobby groups may attempt to stymie environmental restrictions, arguing that compliance costs are high. In polarized climates, debates become tumultuous, and compromise seems tenuous. Yet negotiation is not a weakness. It is the essence of democratic governance. A durable agreement must be viable, not merely expedient.